Matt Aguilar here from ComicBook.com. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking to WWE NXT Champion Carmelo Hayes. How are you?
Hey man, how are you?
That's good to say, right? It's a good thing to hear. To
Yeah,
continue to hear.
how you guys doing?
We got a lot coming up. Obviously, we got NXT Battleground here, and this is a familiar opponent for you. I feel like it's kind of funny that like Shawn Michaels is, so involved with NXT because he's had a number of opponents that, he's synonymous with. And I feel like you and Braun have this kind of rivalry. Do is there a little bit of that, fight forever type feel that like you guys, even regardless of whatever you guys, go on to do wherever that is, as far as brands go, like you always kind of be linked because of this time?
I hope not, because that spear hurt. No, yeah, and I think the conversation it's so because now we're in NXT together. It's a lot of the 1A 1B type of thing. So I mean, as long as we're on the same brand, I'm not coming in second to him, and he doesn't want to come in second to me. So we might have to fight forever. But as far as like what the future holds, I definitely see Braun and I, doing battle, and hopefully we can get along one day. But as far as NXT goes, it's on site. I'm the guy. You're not the guy anymore, and he wants to, be the guy still. So it might be fight forever. I don't know. We'll
Well,
resolve.
some of the back and forth's been great, because you've even put it out, between social media and promos on NXT that he's doing good. Like this new side of him is good for him even without the title. But for you, it feels like there's a little bit of payback involved because he's played some dirty tricks over the past few weeks.
And you know what? I can't even blame him. That's why it's like people, I can be upset, but I was doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not mad at him for that. It's just that now it's like, all right, we got to put the conversation to bed. I got the one on him. We go to low. Either it's two and it's done, or it's one more and then we get the third one. I just want to put the conversation to bed that I'm the guy. I'm the one now, man. You had your time and your ways didn't work, and now it's time. The him era, as we talked about. That is my era. You know what I mean? You're not going to come in and take that away from me. You're not going to ruin that for all these fans. And that's his sole mission and goal. He doesn't care about the championship. You know what I mean? He doesn't care. He just wants to just ruin everything that I have, and he wants to kind of, just reclaim that number one spot. And I refuse to let him do it.
He's ruining like what everyone has, like Chase U and going after other people. Man, he's just like taking all kinds of aggression out of people. I gotta say, one of the best things about this is and this actually goes back to the last match between you guys as well. Is who is coming up with the GTA cover, the kill shot, like album redo? That was who's coming up with that stuff? Because that stuff's gold.
Me, I was sitting last night. I made it last night, like 8:10 right after he did that little thing talking about me. I was like, oh yeah. And I put some just made it. Although that was actually I saw inspiration for that. Actually, I that was my idea, but I saw somebody else and I had asked one of the guys, I was like, hey, can you put Braun's face and do that? And he actually went above and beyond because he did the whole album cover with the Lakers colors and everything for me. And yeah, so I mean, but yeah, there's little things like that. I try to keep it fun, but at the same time, it is all business and I am serious.
No, absolutely. And obviously when you're champion, it feels like you kind of gotta always have your head on a swivel. Everyone's kind of gunning for that title. In the time, that you've been champion, you've been moving around a lot, been doing a lot of stuff. You were doing some awesome stuff with the Celtics, recently. Like, you're out there. What's been the most surprising, aspect of kind of holding the mantle of NXT champion so far?
As probably the amount of representation I've been having to do, which is not, something that I'm not new to, because I remember I was doing this even before. We were doing a lot of media and stuff, even when I had the North American title. But being able to go home, go on the news, do all the radio stations, go to the Celtics game, I want to be that. And I had asked for that responsibility. And I think we maybe even talked about it before that, like, if I win the title, I'm willing to take that responsibility and do these type of things to be the face of the brand. So, yeah, I think it has a lot to do with all those little things, just making sure that I'm representing the company, representing the brand, and representing the NXT Championship and Carmelo Hayes.
Well, and Shawn Michaels recently did an interview and was talking about the passion that you've always shown during, not even just during your time in NXT, but even during your time before NXT, and it's just kind of coming into WWE, and how dedicated you have been to representing not just the brand but also WWE in a large sense. Since you've been champion, what's it's like one of the most valuable resources, right? Like it's like one of the greatest ever, kind of being around. What is the thing you've taken most, whether that's just from advice from him or even just like example of stuff he's done in the past? What have you taken most from that experience for him?
Just to trust him. And it's not, we have this conversation, him and I have this conversation a lot. And it's not that I don't trust him, it's that I'm so the reason he mentioned that whole thing about me being so passionate is because I have so many ideas. And same thing, similar to like with the kill shots in the GTA. I'm always like thinking of things and da 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 da. And he's just very much so like, hey, just trust me and just, trust that I know what's best for you as well. Like, because I'm always coming to him with different ideas and things like that that may not be kind of what he's thinking or what he knows is right, because I'm looking at the next step, he's looking at the next 5 steps. So there's been a lot of those type of conversations. So I mean, more than anything, I'm just being a good soldier and trusting the process and trusting Shawn and his direction for NXT and the NXT Championship and Carmelo Hayes.
Well, and it's one of those things too. It's always interesting to see how a person transitions from being more of a anti-hero villain to more of that kind of not even straight up babyface. You know what I mean? Like it's straight up like it's been a really organic transition for you. Like you never stop being Carmelo Hayes. Like you never stop being, oh, you can see the switch flip. It's just kind of been a natural progression of changing like certain things. How challenging has that been to kind of be on the other side now? Like, or has it been challenging?
No, I can't lie. It has been a little bit of a challenge, because it was easy to kind of almost, not worry about what the fans are thinking. Like, you don't like me, cool. You like me, I don't care. That was a good spot, because it was kind of like, obviously the character Carmelo Hayes. You know what I mean? As far
Yeah.
as like, but you want the fans to like you and enjoy what you're doing and respect you and things. But like, as far as going against your favorite babyface, you could cheer me if you want, you could boo me if you want. I'm still the man. That. But now kind of it's a little bit more leaning on the, doing right type of thing. You know what I mean? Because there's, shoot, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. There's a lot of things that I had to change in my game. As far as like how my matches go and stuff, because we won a lot of matches, with Trick's help and things like that, and it's a little bit doing things the right way now, which is fine by me because I'm more than capable. But it's a little things like that.
Absolutely. And even Trick has, adjusted has adjusted some things too, and it's been cool to see, and I think it's been one of the more organic, changes. And I think that's a credit to you guys. Also too, one of the great things about being champion is like you get all the swag, right? So like I saw the prototype action figure images coming in. Like it's not completely done, but
Yeah.
like the Carmelo Hayes figure is coming out. Like all that stuff's kind of starting to roll out. Is that surreal still?
Yeah, yeah. The video game was really cool. Video game was like, holy crap. And then we went to Mattel, and Then they showed me the prototype, and then I actually got the legitimate scan. So I'm hoping the legitimate scan is way better looking than the prototype, because I remember looking at the prototype. I said, "That's not me." That did not look. They were laughing, but they were probably like, "Ugh." Like,
Right now, the notepad, like,
yeah,
let's get this.
nah, but it was like kind of joke. They knew. They were like, "Oh, this is the pro." Me and Chick look at each other, were like, hey, cool." But yeah, not all of that, man. It's so cool, and I think I'm at that point where I'm like, it's starting to feel a little bit more normal. And I don't, sometimes I don't want these things to feel normal. I don't want these things to feel, I want these things to feel like I try to step out of my shoes a lot of times and be like, man, if I was 8 again, if I was 10 again, how would this make me feel? So like, there's a lot of times I have to do that because, when you're in the grind, you're in the thick of it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm on the news. I got to do the news and I got to do no big deal. But it's like, no, this is freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
Like you got video game. You got an action figure. You're the champ. You're main eventing at the crypto center. You're main eventing in your hometown. All these little things I have to try and step out of my shoes and say, this was your dream. And this you're living your dream. So yeah, like as you say that, like all these things are freaking cool, man. And I'm so grateful and so thankful I get to experience this.
Yeah, I mean, like, and the year started out really well for you, and it looks like it's standing. Sorry, at oh my God, stand and deliver. I was so my brain just like melted. NXT Battleground. It's like I had a like legit moment there, like my brain melted. At NXT Battleground, it looks like it's set to continue. We recently had the WWE draft, and you were throwing some things out there, all like the drafted champions, like you never know, right? And that's part of the fun of it. Um, do you guys get any kind of heads up at all as to like, hey, you might be, hey, you might not be, hey, you're like sticking around for a little bit, or is that like a complete surprise the night of?
Everybody I talked to said that they didn't know. I know the energy was kind of like, I mean, I didn't assume I was, but then again, I wasn't counting myself out. But then again, I'm kind of, I knew I had stuff coming up. Like I knew Braun and I were still working together, so I'm just assuming. I'm like, well, I don't think they're gonna kill the plans here for that. Um, Also, they need a champion. The last thing they want to do is crown a new champion and then draft them. And then you got to do a whole new thing with the championship, all the build for that. So I was kind of under the impression that maybe I'm chilling. But if you're really looking at a draft, right, you're going to take your top guys, the best of the best. So I was, if you're not taking me and Braun, we kind of, once it wasn't us, we were like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. Now, no telling who's going, who else, but they got a lot of solid talent in that draft. Grayson Waller, JD McDonough, Isla, and Alba. They got a lot of solid, pretty deadly, solid talent. So I'm excited for those guys and girls.
No, absolutely. And there's just so much. It's there's like a really good energy right now in NXT because you have all the UK talent that's kind of moved over for NXT UK, and then you have this next wave. We're already kind of starting to see the next wave from the latest class kind of come into the fold and start to make impacts and things. And then obviously we have like you, Braun. And so we have Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez. We have a lot of like really stacked talent kind of across the board. What are you most proud of in regards to like your work in NXT, but also just NXT as a brand?
Yeah. So as far as myself, when I'm most proud that they were able to kind of like take a core couple of guys and girls and rebrand this whole thing multiple times, and we're still at the center of it. That makes me proud because they put a lot on us early, and they bet on us early to help the brand and to succeed and to be pretty much where we are now. And we lived up to those expectations. But now seeing like all the newer talent come in and just get it, quickly and kind of fall right into place and help the machine move and continue to move. And then having the guys from the UK come, and they're just fantastic talents. And they gel with everybody and they elevate everybody. The roster feels very strong. I don't think there's very many holes in NXT right now. Obviously, you have experience and then you have people learning, but that's part of the show you have to kind of adjust to, where you're going to see bangers and you're going to see people having their third and fourth matches. And then, people trying to get promo work and things like that. So it is like a variety show in a lot of ways, but I think we have a very strong core NXT roster and attitude going on right now here.
Well, I know I got to let you go, so I definitely appreciate the time. I am a full believer in the him era, so hopefully that continues up here at Battleground, and hope to speak to you later on, and all the best success.